Alright, cunts, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. Who am I? I'm Viggy. What is artwod? The best learning how to draw fundamentals and basically anything related to drawing from imagination platform in the world, right? How well can I draw? I can draw this well. How long have I been drawing for? 3 years and 4 months, right? November 1st, 2022. Yes, how can I draw like this? Right? It's because I practice fundamentals and purely fundamentals, and I've learned to enjoy fundamentals, and I genuinely believe anybody can learn to enjoy them as well, because it's all about mindset and consistent effort, which we're all capable of putting in. Yeah, there you go. That's my that's my fucking intro. I'm gonna be butchering this forever. Oh, and let me just do this. So I got a sponsored sketchbook from Daniel Flipchap Portfolios, right? Link is all in the description. Daniel Flipchap. He chose the wrong person to fucking sponsor, but I didn't get paid. I'm not actually like paid for this. I just got a free product out of it, and he simply asked, "Hey, if you could." So he didn't even force me to do this. But look at the first of all, fucking engraving, sick, right? Gold plated. I don't know if it's gold plated, but gold engraving. You can get any color that you want. It's really nice quality, right? This is a fucking horrible display of anything, but yeah, but either way, it's really fucking good. Like, I'm actually shocked at how good quality is. Do a hole punch, right? I'm gonna get a bunch of printer paper, probably hole punch in, and like this will be my nice little, funny enough sketchbook as well. But this is actually a portfolio binder, right? Here's the binding, so you can see. It's just really fucking. Oh, it's really good quality. There you go. That's all you're getting, Daniel. I'm sorry. You chose the wrong person to have sponsor your content, but I hope that convinces somebody to at least check it out, because I'm not paid to do this. If I was paid, I'd be sucking his dick so hard right now. Right? The entire half the video, 40 minutes easily, would have been just me shoving that into your face. But I don't have the camera set up to make this all nice either. But anyways, what are we doing? We're looking. Get your pen, get your paper, draw along. There you go. Like, draw along with me. Right? Let's stop wasting time pretending like we're drawing and actually start drawing. Right? Speaking of, I didn't feel like drawing today at all. Like, I spent the entire day mentally masturbating over the fact that I wanted to draw, and I'm like, I want to get 2 hours in. No, I want to get this many. Did I do it? No, I actually, here, let me give this little cat ears as well, the little nubs. Anyways, that was just an accident, or on purpose accident, but I didn't want to draw today, and I'm saying this for transparency, that no matter how much I preach, oh yes, effort, I will, 90% of the time, I actually don't feel like drawing. Like, if we're talking about feeling, right? I don't feel like drawing. I spent the entire day avoiding drawing. Not because, like, intentionally, you know, I still did my practicing piano, I still practiced my communication stuff. Right, I did everything. Like, it's a Sunday too, so I came up with excuses being like, oh, yo, no, like, I'm chilling, it's a Sunday, I don't need to work, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I'm here now. Despite everything, I'm here. So starting is the hardest part. Or even just continuing to start every single time is difficult, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. And if I can do it, you can do it, right? So please, I implore you, let's draw, join me, all right? Let's become great together, all that shit. But yeah, I didn't feel like drawing today at all, but I've already started drawing in my mind. By the way, what am I thinking about? Well, I'm looking at a portrait, right? I'm encompassing a box over that portrait in the correct perspective as much as I can discern, right? I'm imagining a perfect sphere inside that portrait, and I'm visualizing center lines, horizontal and vertical, inside the sphere, inside the box, right? So it's 3 layers of perspective I'm trying to hold in my mind while I specifically try to put the features inside of it. If that sounds extremely difficult, it is extremely difficult. It's fucking 3 layers of holding perspective visualization, which takes a lot of mental energy, right? So that's good. Like, drawing is thinking. It's a lot of mental energy anyways, right? And my procedure for this is, I've refined it a bit in the sense that, like, it's try to hold this as much as possible. Once it goes away, then, you know, you take a step back, and then we try to reconstruct it, because reconstructing a visualization is actually where our brains excel. Like, it's the efficiency of constructing the visualization rather than the duration of which you can hold it for. Of course, the duration matters, right? But think about it this way, like, if you can hold something in your mind for 5 seconds, but then you can instantly recreate it the second you lose it, which is how our brains work in terms of, like, efficient neural pathways when it comes to especially visualization, right? At least from my experience, 3 years and 4 months of experience has told me that, like, that's how it works. Otherwise, I'd always have to be thinking about the box a shit ton more than I have. I'd always have to be thinking about everything, but, like, our brains learn by getting more efficient, putting effort in, and making mistakes, just fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mistakes, right? But anyways, yeah, and then, like, reconstructing it. So I'm just looking at the portrait reference right now, and I'm trying to get an accurate box visualized, and then like obviously a perfect sphere, or a perfect circle, because a sphere is a perfect circle, right? So trying to think about like the bottom plane in which it's attached to. I'm relatively calculating it in my mind, and also trying to impose that calculation onto the page, right? So it's very difficult because you'll see like I'm going like this. What that is this like bottom plane, but you see how it's so drastic compared to what this actually is, because I'm still looking at the same reference here because I struggle with this angle, right? The subtlety is what I struggle with. So again, these are mistakes, right? So this is already slightly better, and this is already way better. So obviously the speed at which I ghost this needs to slow down drastically as well, right? And I mean drastically. And again, like, and then while I do this, while I make these lines, I'm really struggling in a good way. Like I'm really putting in a lot of effort into visualizing the perfect sphere that is inside this. And then like once I envision that sphere, I'm trying to think about the ellipse that is in the side plane and the ellipse that is in the bottom plane, right? And it's just like constantly trying to do that over and over and over that creates the ability to visualize this, right? And then once I lose it, just like now, take a step back, okay, try to reconstruct it again. Just really try to reconstruct it again. And again, my mind keeps going towards this angle, right? Like it keeps going towards a much more drastic angle, like a more upturned angle, but this is extremely subtle. This is extremely subtle, and it's actually, it's extremely subtle, and it's slightly tilted as well. So like, and again, that's just me visualizing, by the way, because I was already thinking while I was doing it. But then here comes the even more difficult part, which is continuing to visualize it while visualize it while I draw it, right? And that is another extremely difficult thing to do, like genuinely, because I have to make sure that everything is connected, right? And I have to make sure that this box in and of itself is a good size, right? It's actually like it's proportionate to being able to encapsulate a perfect sphere inside of it. And what I'm doing right now is, because I'm actually putting so much cognitive and physical energy towards just making this line decent, which it's not, because I really struggle with making lines in this angle. You see, like that was actually way more subtle than it needed to be. So I actually fucked that up completely. I fucked it up completely. Like this is much more accurate in terms of this line, right? This plane. But I've done it, and now I have to, you just have to make your peace with it. And again, it's like, okay, what, again, trying to reconstruct it. What is that perfect sphere encapsulating, right? Like that is definitely something like this. Or not definitely. You don't want to use such absolute terms, but like this is definitely a much bigger sphere than I expected. And you see how like my sphere is ending here, but that's not bars. But that's not accurate, because it should be ending right around here. So we need to again update our mental schema, and it roughly should be right here, because everything is proportionate to itself, right? And while I do this, I'm still trying to think about that center line. And you see, these are all mistakes. Like every time the line skips, it's a mistake. Every time the line is slightly wobbly, it's a mistake. Every time the line has more pen pressure in one specific area versus another, it's a mistake. So I'm always analyzing and evaluating and interpreting in terms of the mistakes, while also trying to visualize the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines inside the sphere inside the box. Again, if that sounds extremely difficult, it is extremely difficult, and that's why it's worth doing, okay? Anything you're struggling with right now, I can guarantee that the best return on investment, I can 100% guarantee, like this is without a fucking doubt, because there are right things to practice in art, I can 100% guarantee that any effort you're putting towards improving your spatial reasoning is the biggest return on investment you can get when it comes to your art. Like without a fucking doubt. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. And you don't have to believe me right now, but in 20 years, not even 20, in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, yeah, and then 20 years, when I have proven it with my actions, then perhaps those of you who listen will be like, yeah, of course it made sense. That's what I was focusing on. Those of you who didn't would be like, oh, maybe I should have listened. Try doing the goofy laugh. Oh, yeah, there you go. But I failed miserably. But you see, this is not a perfect sphere at all. This is way too wide. That's a good thing, because I made that mistake, and I've accepted that mistake, right? And again, like this line, trying to make it decent, right? While I still visualize, by the way, while I still try to see everything, right? While I still try to calculate, you know, it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. And that line was a fuck up. Oh, everything about this line's a fuck up. You see, there's a lot of slight wiggles here and there, right? But, and then once I finish this box, I'm going to rest my brain, because it's important to try to hold this, but it's also important to try to rest my mind and try to reconstruct it again. But while I'm doing this, hopefully, I mean, like, look, that's diverging as well. That's completely inaccurate. I'm hopefully proving a point that again, like these lines are also really subpar, right? Because the brush pen's very humbling. In this angle, I struggle with quite a bit. But hopefully I'm proving a point that it's just sheer constant effort. And it is getting slightly better, which I'm proud of myself for, genuinely, right? But let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do this. Same shit as always, just rest your brain. Alright, wunderbar. So, obviously, now comes the second difficult part, which is not only am I going to try to envision the sphere and the center lines, right? Like the horizontal and vertical center lines inside the sphere, I'm also going to try to place features on top of that, right? And right now, and you'll see what I'm doing is I'm calculating the center line of the box as well, right? And that will, of course, play a big part into my understanding of the center line of the sphere. But while I'm drawing this line, and it's a skill to be able to draw something while still thinking holistically and zooming out about the larger spatial awareness that is being built, right? So that's a skill. It's all a skill, right? And I mean, that's all I have to say. But either way, let's see. Because like while I do this, I'm really trying to think hard about the center lines, like and especially of the sphere. Like I'm trying to think really, because this is not encompassing a perfect sphere. Like I'll show you afterwards, but especially because like I still struggle with thinking about the sphere. But this is a very wide sphere. It looks more like this. Like that's kind of what's more like encompassed in it. It's like a very wide circle, right? It's not a sphere. It's not a perfect sphere. And part of that is because I didn't make this tall enough. If I made this slightly taller, maybe coming up to there, then yeah, then that would have actually been a lot better. Yeah, 100%. See, so you see how the difference is literally just few millimeters, right? It's just this much would have made a perfect sphere be encompassed in here. Bars. Oh my god, I'm on a roll. But either way, either way, you know, one thing they always say about me, apart from my dashing good looks, is that I have no personality, but a sense of humor and wit beyond measure. Now that may seem contradictory, but I'm just saying random shit while I'm drawing to reinforce the fact that drawing and thinking and talking is very difficult to myself. Does it have merit? Yes. Do you give a shit? No. Do I care? Perhaps. We'll see what the mean comments are saying 10 years from now. I can't believe I used to look up to you. When did you ever look up to me? You didn't. Right. Is he creating a random narrative in his head? Yes. Why? Because he has nothing better to do. He's just been thinking about boxes and cylinders for the past 4 years, right? That would drive a man insane. But let's see. Okay, and now here's another thing, right? The skill of looking at the portrait reference, trying to analyze and create features that are accurate and in proportion, while also every time I come back to looking at this, reinstating and restructuring that sphere in the center lines, that's actually a really good practice, because that means I'm gonna have to focus and practice on immediately reconstructing, what the fuck, that's not a word, reconstructing the sphere and the center lines, right, horizontal and vertical. I never thought about it like that. Only just now I've realized what I can genuinely practice on top of that. And obviously, like when I look at the portrait reference as well, I need to obviously start seeing that sphere in the center line. So I'm already in that zone. So that actually helped a lot. Just verbalizing it just helped a lot. So what I just did is do what I just said, which was you witnessed a live moment when I reinforced to myself that when I look at the portrait, I should be seeing the sphere in the center lines. And then when I look back at my actual drawing, I should be immediately constructing the sphere and center line. Now, that is, I think, a pretty pivotal moment in this video. And I honestly think this might be one of those things where years from now, people will be like, oh shit, like that we just witnessed him have a eureka moment, right? And that is kind of what's happening, right? Obviously, it's easy to say you're having a eureka moment, and it's another thing to actually try to employ the practice of that moment as consistently as you can. But that's what I'm trying to do. I am objectively, like to the best of my ability, trying to do that. And it's difficult. It's great. It's actually very difficult. Every time I look at this girl's face, it's really hard to immediately. And then every time, like, because the thing is, I'm like constantly looking back and forth, right? So I'm building the skill. Sorry, I'm still sick a little bit. I'm not apologizing. I should probably spit in the fucking page with all my mucus. Maybe that would make things better. Never apologize for something that you don't want to apologize for. And I specifically don't want to apologize for anything. especially not my phlegm. But again, another like skills, like while I'm drawing, stupid bullshit I say always aside, another skill is me while I'm drawing this feature, I'm really trying to think about the sphere and the center lines. Extremely difficult. I basically didn't see it at all, but I'm trying, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make. Like I'm trying to see and it's actually helping a lot just to try and reinforce my mindset. Is just okay, like the skill, and I'm trying to reinforce to myself is just every time I look here in general, like in general, I should try to be holding that box and the sphere inside the box, and the center lines inside the sphere inside the box as much as I possibly fucking can, right? And same thing when I look at the portrait. So actually, obviously it's a very difficult skill, but you know, again, like practicing it, it's like, wow, this is actually a very difficult skill to do, right? So all we can do is our best. Genuinely, all we can do is our best. And I feel as if just by thinking spatially in terms of this like looking at the portrait, just thinking about the portrait spatially as well is helping quite a bit in terms of like how I approach looking at this as well. It's extremely difficult, don't get me wrong. Like, and I'll keep saying, you know, for fucking complete, just repeating all the time, right? I can't think right now, my sentences aren't making sense. But yes, I'll keep repeating it's extremely difficult because, to be honest, it is. And I think it's worth to consistently mention that, because when I am great, I want people to be very aware that this wasn't just pulled out of my ass. It was extensively through sheer effort and constantly trying to repeat, I don't know why I said it like that, repeat the effort, right? So for those of you who really so badly in the future, right, want to ascribe all notions of my artistic skills to talent, here's my giant middle finger to that, which is I'm struggling right now. There's no talent here. I'm literally just lost the perspective multiple times as I just said that, right? No talent. I'm sorry, this isn't talent. This is pure and sheer effort, right? And I'm going to completely just break down and shit on the notion of talent. Not just with art, but just in terms of like skill acquisition, right? Idiots will always say talent. Like, I'm aware of that. Morons will always say talent, right? Oh, by the way, like I could have extended this outward, or I could have just shortened this. So there's two ways to make this a perfect sphere, right? Because the point is the problem is that it's too wide. So if I shorten it here, then it becomes less wide, right? Probably, but I should have shortened it a lot more. It's probably around here actually. Because look, this is the sphere that I want to have, like that I'm trying to envision, right? Like this is the perfect sphere. So something like this, right? Like, yeah, see, that's the perfect sphere. We're trying to see the box. This is the center line that we're trying to see, right? Because it's based off of this, the ellipse here that I have and the minor axis going through there. Like that's the center line. And then this is the center line here, right? And it's very subtle. Like this one, I obviously didn't do the dots right, but it's very subtle. But that's literally like, again, I'm trying to see this fucky shit. That's literally what I'm trying to see in my mind. But yeah, like I acknowledge morons will always use the word talent as a means to justify lack of effort on their end, right? So I like, no matter how much throughout this entire channel's journey, I say it's all a skill, and I say it's all sheer effort, and I say it's all directionally correct sheer effort, and it's all about focusing on the fundamentals, and it's all about consistency and trying. No matter how much I say that, I wholeheartedly, yeah, that's what I mean. I wholeheartedly acknowledge idiots will still be idiots because they don't want to put in the work. And they want to ascribe to the notion of talent so badly because it justifies their worldview of, you know, natural ability over sheer work ethic, right? So I understand that. So this is for people who are on the fence. Like my words right now, for the future people especially, because I think anybody listening or watching to me now is most likely like, if you're fucking here and you actually watch or listen to my content on a semi-regular basis, or you're jumping in, like you should be very well aware that I'm all about effort, errors, and repetition, right? And then more than anything, that everybody's capable of that effort. I truly believe everybody's capable of effort that over time will lead to excellence, right? Mastery, I think, is just more and more time, right? Like decades. And obviously like how much you cared, how much you actually pay attention outside of that, right? So I'm trying to achieve mastery to a degree, or whatever my version of mastery is. So obviously I try to think and pay attention about art as much as possible. But yeah, like idiots will always say it's all about talent. I'm here to say that I acknowledge that, and it's still all about skill and effort. So Yeah, I mean, with that being said, let me rest my brain, right? I just wanted to put that out there because I might as well acknowledge it in one of these videos. So if anybody ever comes back here, this can be referred to down the line, like in the future, years and years from now, where somebody says some bullshit, you can be like, hey, look, here's the timestamp. He's talking to you specifically, moron, right? So there you go. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. You know, the beautiful thing about not wanting to do something and then doing it anyways is that you're callousing your mind, right? I think that's the whole like David Goggins thing that he says, like callous the mind. But if you want the science behind it, there's actually a part of the brain that's essentially referred to as like the willpower part of the brain. I think it's called the ANCC, anterior something singular cortex, some shit like that. But it's called the ANCC, and it's basically it's the part of the brain that essentially gets stronger the more you do things that you don't want to do, right? So does that make sense? Like, dude, it's insane. It's literally a part of the brain that we can train, and it gets stronger specifically when we do things that we don't want to do, right? So right now, or like earlier, I did not want to draw. I mentally masturbated over drawing. I was like, oh, I can't wait to draw, blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't drawing, right? And by the way, while I'm talking and explaining and having one line of thought, I'm having another completely different line of thought that's running in parallel to this, right? Which is spatial reasoning, intensive calculated spatial reasoning, which is a skill to have that run in parallel, right? So what I'm thinking about right now, again, is the box, right? This box as much as possible while not looking at it, but still trying to keep the general idea of it in mind, right? I'm ghosting. Shit, my head tapped it tapped the camera. Anyways, I'm ghosting, right? I'm really trying to ghost accurately and trying to, again, keep the bottom perspective very subtle. Like this perspective, very subtle, right? And I'm ghosting and I'm trying to visualize a perfect sphere, right? And I have to understand, and again, explaining this is helping me a lot. I have to acknowledge that the bottom of this sphere only brushes against the bottom of the box, like it always does, but it's basically, the sphere is hitting 6 points, 6 corners. It's hitting one corner, like, actually, yeah, technically, yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, that's what fucks with me. It's like, it's this, the bottom back one. So that's why silhouette matters a lot, right? Because this is actually, if I'm gonna do it, and I don't even know if I'm gonna do this right, but something like this, right? Like these are the 6, and yeah, this is slightly off because this is really good practice. This is from challenge 52. I can't wait to do that as well because it'll help me a lot. But that's basically what the box I'm visualizing is. It's like, it's less so a box and more so just the silhouette, right? But like these corners is what, you know, this is not a perfect box by any means, but that's what the sphere is. I need to constantly envision as hitting, right? And that's when I say, like, if it breaks down, which is this entire concept, and again, there's a minor axis, there's this minor axis, project it outward, this is the center line, project that outward, this is the center line, right? So that is all what I'm trying to visualize. Obviously, just pretend like this is actually a perfect box, so something more like this, right? But that is what I'm trying to visualize. And you see immediately, again, like I have that, I'm just so used to it. And this is an error, right? This is a huge error. It's like just used to going in this extreme direction, right? But it's less about that right now. Or it's not about, it's about correcting that, sorry, is what I mean to say. And it's just being about very subtle, you know, and seeing this correctly, because seeing is the skill, and seeing is the most difficult skill of all, right? Which is why I'm also experimenting. Like, what if I see the sphere first? What if I focus on just seeing a perfect sphere first, and then I encompass the box inside of it, and then I put the center lines, right? Wait, I have to burp. Oh, that was cute. It's not what I wanted, but it was cute, right? And again, I just lost it now. So you take a step back. Okay, now I try reconstructing it again. And I really try reconstructing it again. I'm really trying to get that subtle angle in my mind, like calculated in my mind, right? The super subtle angle. And again, the perfect sphere that is encompassing it. And now that I'm constantly trying to hold this visualization, because that's just the first step. It's always, that's the most difficult part. Like everything I'm explaining, which may sound like a lot or may sound like it's appropriate level of effort, is just the first step. Because what I'm doing to make things more difficult is now wrap simple shapes around it. Because I'm enamored by hard surface design, the goal is to obviously make like hard surface shapes that have functionality. That's the end goal. It's gonna take years and years, but that's the end goal. And it's gonna just consistently happen throughout this portrait experience, right? So that is what I'm really focused on right now. And that's why I'm thinking about the sphere matters so much, right? Like that's why it matters so fucking much. And it's so difficult. This level of subtlety, even though it's incorrect compared to the reference, like that level of subtlety is still very important. It's still extremely important for me to be able to visualize, right? And that's why I'm really grinding my brain. Like it's insane. I love it too. So I have the center line here because I still have to think about the box, right? And again, like I need to keep whatever part of this visualization I see, I need to also keep reinforcing my brain to see the sphere as part of that, and then like the calculations that occur as part of that, right? Like I want to always see, no matter where I'm kind of visualizing in my mind, I want to always see something like this, right? I want to always see something like this, right? I want to always see this on top of that. Fuck. I want to always see this, like this, the ellipse itself, right? I want to always see that. So that's extremely difficult, you know? But that's what I'm looking for. Like that's what I want, right? Like this is the level of complexity I want to see at all times. But then also I want to see the entire sphere as well, and also the center line. Like there's a lot that I'm training my mind to see, right? So this is why spatial reasoning is going to be the king. Like that's what I'm looking for, right? And it's so good because I'm making so much mistakes, but I'm putting in such a sheer amount of effort to this. And now I have to think, okay, like what do I want to actually draw? Right? Like, what do I actually want to draw? You know? Because we could technically want to draw a lot of things, but like because now, yeah, the first step is like me just constantly trying to visualize this. And the second step, the even more difficult step, is trying to think about shapes to wrap on top of this accurately, right? We're trying to form blend essentially, right? Form wrap, right? That's again, something artwod teaches. So again, link in description. They teach it in their beginner roadmap, right? Everything I'm saying and doing is all artwod, by the way. Like, I push to the extreme of what they teach because I genuinely believe in the power of sheer intentional volume and repetition to actually understand a concept. And that noise is just me shuffling around in my chair, the background noise if you hear it. But like everything I'm saying and doing is the basics of what artwod teaches. Like this is literally the third exercise in like the second lesson of the portrait roadmap, and there's like fucking 30 lessons. All right, I hope that gives you an understanding of how long I'm going to be doing this. Minimum a year to 2 years, minimum. Right? But anyways, like again, while I'm talking, it's very difficult to hold all this in my mind, right? But we need to start somewhere, and I need to see that sphere. So let me try something. This is centered, right? So let me try something like, and again, that's the side, right? Okay, so I could do something like this. And again, while I draw this, immediately I need to still be thinking about the box, right? And I need to, if that's angled, I need to think about something. That's angled. Okay, so what am I doing here? I can do this intuitively, but I don't want to do it intuitively. I want to calculate this correctly, right? So y is, oh, okay, because this is coming off here. So let's see what can be done, right? So I got this, and maybe we got something like this, and then we have the perspective like so, okay? And I've already lost the perspective a decent amount of times, but this is where I try to, and all these dots are just like me kind of trying to set general placeholders for everything's gonna be. And every time I look at this, I need to see the box and see the sphere and see the center lines and everything consistently. I love it. It's so fucking difficult, bro. I cannot explain, like words cannot explain how fucking hard this shit is, right? Because this is my center, my front plane, right? And then this is my center line. Actually, no, I think I already fucked that up, right? This is my center line. This actually should have been my center line. So if that's where we're going, if this is my center line, right? And then this is my side, and then this is my sphere. And by the way, me saying this all out loud is just me trying to reinforce what I believe to be true while also course correcting while I do it, right? So Actually, like probably moving no, we're moving back. Yeah, this is my center line. There you go. That makes a lot of or this is my front plane. Sorry, not my center line. This is my front plane because this is what's on the sphere, right? And if we bring this back, right? If we bring it back and then I calculate my center, because this is literally all what I'm trying to visualize. Calculate my center. This is my center. If that's my center, I believe that's my center. I could be wrong. But if this is my center, because this is the sphere, and I'm just thinking out loud, I hope this helps, like to, because it's repetitive, but I hope this helps to be like, oh shit, this is literally what he's thinking about. And I want to be very clear. Talking while I'm trying to visualize this is very difficult, right? My brain is actually very tired right now, or like it's at its limit. So I'm gonna rest my brain, I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna reconstruct this again. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so again, like this is my center line, or I need to stop saying center line, sorry. This is my front plane. When I'm doing this, like I'm trying to visualize the front plane. So I do apologize, I'm not trying to mislead what I'm thinking about here, right? And then this is my sphere. Okay, so I think something like this would work. This actually changes a lot because I wasn't trying to do this, but I just need to also establish what my sphere is, right? I need to really establish that. So again, and then we'll come down here and we'll do something like this, right? We'll do something like this, and now this. Again, if that's my sphere, that's my box, everything here is going to be something like this. I believe. This could be wrong, but I'm really trying to visualize the entire thing right now. Like I'm genuinely trying to visualize the entire thing right now, and this is where the beauty of just trying comes into play, right? Because like there's nothing else that can be done objectively. There's nothing else that really can be done, so I just need to constantly try analyzing while I'm drawing, and it's incredibly fucking difficult, right? As I always say, it's literally all incredibly difficult. And again, also like don't forget while I'm adding these tiny details, I'm trying to keep the overall perspective in mind, and also line work. See, that was bad. That was a bad line, right? But also line work is something you have to keep in mind, right? While we do this. And I'm losing the overall perspective right now, so I gotta take a step back. I take a step back and be like, okay, reconstruct, right? Reconstruct. Let's try to reconstruct it again based on the already existing lines that I put into motion, right? So let's see, like reconstruct the box based on that, right? And well, it's just all about like kind of trying to, you know, vibe it out. We're just vibing it out, but we're not actually vibing it out. We're doing such intense calculations that it hurts my brain. There's no vibing here. There's absolutely zero vibing. I want to be very clear. There's no fucking such thing as getting good while vibing, okay? Not in like the traditional sense is what I want to say. Like there's like, yeah, I'm vibing in the sense that I'm fucking vibing because I'm trying so hard. Yes, I'm vibing. Like yes, I'm vibing because I'm making such an intense effort, and that I've trained myself to enjoy that feeling. Therefore, it is a, you know, hashtag vibe. But I'm not vibing in the sense that, you know, like I'm just casually non-thinking and putting in and just this happens to, I'm just fucking, I just jerk myself off and this is now a drawing. No, that's not, like, this is not a lack of effort reflection of vibing, if that makes sense. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna, why am I even using vibing as a goddamn explanation for this? The metaphor is just losing all meaning, or whatever explanation is losing all meaning, right? But Let's see. Um, let's see. Okay, let me just try to think about this a bit clearer. And again, like I completely lost the perspective, so I have to take a step back. Okay, try reconstructing again. Try reconstructing. Okay, I think I have a general idea of where this is all going now. Didn't make a mistake. Made many mistakes actually, but we just have to allow it. And let's see. Okay, so maybe this is a shape that I can bring about. Something like this, right? Something, okay, that was also a mistake. And again, this is all based on the front plane that I have here, right? Like that's just an extended version of this perspective. And you can see I'm actually challenging myself quite a bit because I'm trying to really draw over the sphere and while still trying to encapsulate and keep the sphere in mind. Because think about it, like the sphere is, I've just made indications here, right? But I've already drawn so much outside of it that you could say that the main challenge right now is just to keep that sphere consistent while I draw these shapes over it, which is a huge challenge. I want to be very clear. That's an incredibly difficult challenge, okay? And I've lost the perspective again, right? So take a step back. Okay, now try to hold it again. Box, sphere, center lines, right? Box, sphere, center lines. Incredibly fucking difficult skill. Genuinely such a difficult skill, right? Because, you know, this is my center line. I got this over here, do some calculations. This doesn't make sense, right? Maybe this is coming across. Trying to really think about the bottom plane as well, right? I think something like this is relatively accurate. Relatively, obviously, like not exactly, but let's see, something like this. And this could actually be completely wrong. To be honest, I might have actually done this completely wrong right now. Like this what I just did right here to try to make my sphere make sense could have been the sort of you know, the bullet or whatever the fuck, right? Does that make sense? What the fuck is what is the goddamn term people use? There you go. There you go. No, see, so like it could have been right, but I tried accommodating for this instead of having this line accommodate for the sphere. So that's already a huge mistake that I've made, genuinely, right? But can't really do much about it now because I've made that mistake, right? And we'll have this cut out like so. Because obviously, I'm also challenging myself by trying to draw the other side. And that's very difficult to do. But let's see. Let's see how it goes. Because now the big challenge is like, I'm going to have to draw the other side, right? And that's actually going to... And because I fucking keep drawing shit everywhere, like, I need to work around that as well. But I completely lost the perspective, so we need to take a step back. And then... Let's see... Something like this. See, mistakes were made. Many mistakes were made, which is good. And again, like while I'm drawing this, I'm really trying to hold in. It's failing miserably, I want to say. Like it's genuinely failing miserably, but I am trying to hold that box and the corners and everything in properly, right? But just because I'm trying doesn't mean I'm succeeding. But just because I'm not succeeding doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. So it's like that's the whole that is the beauty of trying, right? Like it always means something. You just have to believe that it means something. And objectively, if we're gonna go the scientific route, like yes, according to science, it means a lot as well. Right, but like even if it didn't mean shit, it still means something because it's better to believe that your efforts mean something than that they don't. Right? Otherwise, you just turn into a jaded piece of shit who will never try at anything and blame the world around them. Right? Much like I used to be. So you don't want to be like that. Right? I spent decades taking myself out of that mindset so you don't have to spend that time. That's why I always say that I believe anybody can draw. Because I know what it's like to feel as if you can't do anything. Let's see. This sphere isn't that good. It's okay, but okay, see, I completely lost the sphere again. Like, I genuinely lost the sphere multiple times, but let's see, and then we can maybe do something like that. A little connection, right? And see my lines too. Oh my god, that was a horrendous line. And my forehead tapped the camera again. Okay, so I need to take a step back because I completely lost the construction. So take a step back. Okay, let's reconstruct it now. Let's reconstruct it to the best of our ability, right? Still keep seeing it, see the center line, see the contour, see everything, see literally everything. Like we are training ourselves to see the grid, right? Essentially like a fucking computer, you know? And people believe it cannot be done. People believe currently that it cannot be done. But perhaps you have forgotten it has already been done by one of the greatest draftsmen of all time, Kim Jong-il. And if he can do it, we can do it. Okay? But we do not deserve to do it until we've put in an equivalent amount of effort. Simple as that. And yes, people will doubt and say, nope, it's not possible. Listen, it doesn't matter if it's not possible. It's been done. If it's been, and by the way, these two are diverging. And if it's been done once, it can be done again. And if you're not of that mentality, then how can we do anything? Like, how can anything be accomplished if we can consistently believe that nothing can be accomplished? Right? And that's why I don't care about the whole talent argument. You know, I'm sure people in the comments are like, he was a genetic phenom. He was this, he was that. The funny thing is, he's never said he's any of those things. People are ascribing those beliefs onto him, or did ascribe those beliefs onto him. He never said any of that. He simply said, I have greater observation abilities than the common man. And, you know, the big asterisk is I have spent fucking 30 years building those abilities, right? How many times does somebody need to say that they're average before the average person believes that they're average, right? And that the only thing separating them, which of course is the harsh truth, is work ethic, commitment, obsession, dedication, drive. Because then it's a reflection. It's like, oh wait, I can technically have all those things. Like technically there's nothing separating me and him, right? Like then it's a reflection of yourself. You know, I'll say it. The only reason I won't reach Kim Jong-il ability in my lifetime is because I will not have put in the work that he put in. Am I saying that I will be him? No, I'm saying that I'll be the version of me that strives to be like him and becomes the version of me that strives to be like him, which will be reflective of the work that I put in at the end of the day, right? It's about the work and the effort and the type of work and the type of effort that I put in at the end of the day. And that will be who I become. And at the end of the day, it's who I become, not what I'm capable of, but the work ethic that I build and what every single one of you listening or watching to this is capable of, okay? However much fucking fear, anxiety, and just quote-unquote pain you think you went through when it came to first learning how to draw, I can guarantee I've experienced it, and probably more, okay? And if I haven't, congratulations, you now have an opportunity to be the person who went through a much worse time than me and came out on top and possibly becomes 10 times better than I ever will by putting in more work than I ever will. There you go. So no matter what, you still are able to win. And I really need to rebrand as like an inspirational channel. I'm a fucking god, bro. I'm literally the best, you know? That's a mistake. But let's see. Oh yeah, this right here. This is where things get fun because okay, so I need to rest my brain because I really need to calculate like everything happening on the other side of this. I'm getting better. Holy shit, I'm actually getting better. But let me rest my brain. And I encourage you to do so as well. So yeah, obviously I need to reconstruct that sphere again. It's been 44 minutes. Yeah, it takes time, right? It takes fucking time, but I think I forgot to talk about like the things I was thinking about, but I think it's maybe self-evident, but it's all just like if you're wondering how I'm coming up with these shapes, it's pure experimentation and ideation. I want to make that very clear. It's sheerly just me going like, what if I do this? What if I do that? What if I do this? What if I do that? Like, what if I add this angle? What if I do this angle? What if in relation to this I add this? What if when I did this I added like little additions here? What if when I added those additions I extended it outward? What if when I extended this outward, like I brought this down this much in relation to this, right? Like what if this length and this length were slightly different, but this one was slightly same but also curved? You see, it's all just a bunch of what ifs in relation to, because design is extremely difficult, in relation to just ratios, proportions, trying to make things like, you know, big, medium, small, like in the grand scheme of things, but also like within the shapes themselves, right? Like different ideations. And that can only come through sheer repetition. This is like my fucking 300th rep, or like 250th rep, 50th rep, right? It didn't happen overnight. It happened over fucking 60 hours, right? So there you go. And hundreds of internal mistakes, thousands of internal mistakes that I recognized as mistakes. This is actually a huge mistake because this is actually curving incorrectly. I should have been way more. Yeah, this is actually a huge mistake because you see how like this is making the box over here, like the sphere, seem like it's like this when actually, and this is all like, they're all mistakes. When actually, like if we look at the size of the sphere I've created, it should be something more like this, right? Like it should be a lot more, we should see the front plane a lot more, right? It makes, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best. But either way, I still have to do the other side, right? So let's just see what I can do, because I have to like logic this out. So first of all, let me just add a little cylinder here just for shits. Then let's do this. And while I'm doing this, I have to like constantly think about the overall box and the sphere inside the box. So let's do that because that's extremely difficult and I like doing difficult things. And I encourage that you also like doing difficult things. And why am I talking like this? I don't know, leave me alone. But let's see. Right, there's a decent amount of foreshortening occurring. But there you go, that's the end of the sphere. Right, and then if that's here, this around here, and we obviously need to make sure that this is relatively accurate. Something like that. And on the other side as well, because let's see, what is this looking like? What is that other side looking like? Oh, it's like this. And you see, it's very difficult because clearly my lines are too thick, right? Like when things are further away, obviously we see less of it, right? But my lines are just too thick and I'm actually losing of what's happening here. I actually don't know what the fuck I did here anymore. So I need to, oh no, I do know now. To take a step back, do something like this, bring that down, right? And then, yeah, take this and then bring this down. And it's not that good. This is not that good. But let's see, we'll get the ellipse there as well. Because that's because I fucked up this angle. This angle should have been a lot more down. But it's okay. It's okay. It's genuinely just okay. Yeah, my lines still need work. Like the designs I put on top of it still need work. But overall, I did a decent job of holding that box. Like this is genuinely not bad. Some things are diverging. Like this and this is diverging because I just didn't align it properly and I didn't see it properly. Just that slight fix I made already makes it so much better, right? But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I could do something like this, right? And then maybe something like this to really try to hone the point into myself that like it's all attached and shit, right? But who knows? Oh wait, that's like this. So wait, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do? I don't know. I actually don't know what I did, but we'll leave it. Okay, we'll leave it. We'll just draw like a little thing here that's like, hey, there you go. It's all symmetrical. I'm getting better for sure. But now it's onwards to doing another one of this, like while holding this in my mind, right? Because it's been 49 minutes, and I'm gonna obviously do another one and we'll see if I can continue to hold this in my mind, right? But I'm gonna rest my brain again, and then I'm like the last spurt, right? The last 20 minutes, just again, sheer effort, extreme effort. Again, really trying to focus on visualizing, and then when I lose it, immediately reconstructing as fast as I can, accurately. And obviously, when things are inaccurate, calculating the inaccuracy. But this is definitely a lot better. Like, this is fucking without a doubt. Oh fuck, I fucked that up completely. That was the wrong line. But this, without a doubt, probably one of my best, for sure. Like, genuinely, yeah, for sure, one of my best. Because you see, it's because I spent fucking 10 minutes where you saw me put down nothing, but I just kept calculating and kept trying to visualize and kept reaffirming the visualization. I kept losing it, and then kept trying again, reconstructing, right? Like, all that planning, and just consistently while planning, trying to literally create something out of nothing from my consciousness and put it on the page. That was the effort that led to something that was like, oh wow, this is probably one of my best attempts, right? That is the effort, okay? And it's a fuck ton of friction, a fuck ton of discomfort, a fuck ton of leaning into that discomfort, right? And then completely losing it, taking a break, and then trying again. So, I talk like this. I don't know why. I'll suck on my dick. Man, I couldn't even rest my brain properly there because the sound of the slurping was deafening. I know I made a request, but please, Vicky Fatmers, calm down. Anyways. Fuck, I actually didn't even drink my water. Everybody stay hydrated, please. Please stay hydrated. Very important. You gotta make sure you stay hydrated. Now, while that boy switched to a Texan accent, I'd never know. But these days, these Browns get a little too cocky. Who that sound like? That sounds like that character from Gravity Falls. Who the fuck? The town kook or whatever. I forgot his name. I love his character. I love his backstory, right? Without saying anything, but he'll talk like this. Dipper, Mabel, where are you going? You boys want to play? You girls want to play some games? Right? Like, he just talk like that. It's pretty good. And then the fucking cops. Oh my god, the cops. And again, while I'm talking, I'm already drawing. I'm already visualizing. I'm trying to make sure I understand the orientation of what I'm drawing. Right? Now, this is okay. I'm trying to figure out like what, because this is not bad. Like, I obviously struggle with this side, right? And like this side of the sphere in general, like, because this is what this should have actually been like. So you can see, like, again, I see it, right? That's the most important part. I'm just starting to see it. Like, it should have come down here. Yeah, see? That's already more accurate. And again, maybe this isn't the most accurate, right? I could be wrong and not seeing things properly, right? But this is generally more accurate, like, because this looks like it's curving inwards on the plane, or on the sphere, and then it's coming down. But this is like, we're trying to just have it completely abide to the perspective, right? That's the more important thing right now. We're trying to have it completely abide to the perspective established, apart from the diagonals, because the diagonals obviously force me to think, and they create visual interest as well, and give me a bit more liberty when it comes to ideating on shapes, right? But let's see. Anyways, I was doing the Western accent, but that shit's so easy to do, bro. I don't know why. It's just you have to constantly raise your inflection, and then you do a little bit of shit. Wait, and before you know it, you're out there killing minorities and sipping some beer and orphan tears. Ray William Johnson equals 3. But in my day, we used to cry. When sweet, sweet white America, the soil was taken from us by the, I don't know, who can we blame? I'm trying to think of it. Native Americans, goddamn Native Americans. We took their land and they tried to take it back. How dare they? Right? When in doubt, just blame the whites and then make a funny joke about it. And then everybody who is of my skin color or darker will be like, yes, play. But no, not play. What the fuck? Slay. Vagu, slay. I'm getting whiplash. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, just okay. I want to make something very clear. Back to art and not just fucking around, right? While I'm doing this, right, while I'm visualizing the sphere and I'm trying to encompass a box around it, this angle This angle consistently is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this. And this is what I need to see. You see like that huge discrepancy between the reality, like the reality versus what I need to do, right? Like that is already such a beautiful chance for me to constantly like, because you know how hard it is to bring that down, like to just force my mind to bring the plane down. You know, it's a constant effort to be like, no, 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 because when I bring it down, immediately my mind just goes like, oh, okay, we're seeing the bottom now, or like we're seeing the top now. Like I brought it down, but it's like, no, it's that nuance of going from this to this, right? Oh, what the fuck, that's a shit line. To like this, right? Jesus Christ, to this. I really need to work on my lines. Anytime this pen ink flow like is actually good, dude, it humbles me so much. From this to there you go. Like that's the effort I need to make. See, now I'm just practicing my lines. This is just not even the right series anymore. I probably will have one. Probably will take a break at one point in the next coming week or so. Not from this, but just like have one day where I just practice lines, because I am struggling, right? I'm struggling quite a bit. But again, now anyways, back to center line, right? Just trying to think about interesting shapes that I can do. Well, I have an idea now, so let's do that. You see, that line was horrendous. You know, that line was absolutely horrendous. And this is the part where I get to think about the bottom perspective while I try to think about perhaps this is good. Like I'm actually gonna really try to focus on my lines as well. But you have to remember, now that I'm trying to focus on my lines, I'm completely losing the perspective, right? So it's not as if like suddenly because I'm thinking about lines, I could also just allocate the brain energy. Because I'm not just thinking about lines, right? I'm also thinking about like actually, you know, pen pressure, you know, like how much it's basically, yeah, it's all pen pressure. And again, I'm thinking right now, so it's obviously clearly very hard to talk, right? But it's not just a simple matter of, oh, I'm now going to make my lines better. It's like, no, it's a very difficult matter of, okay, I need to make the conscious effort to think about everything I just mentioned, and also think about lines. Like think about the perspective, but also think about lines, and that's extremely difficult. And my lines are still shit either way. You know what I mean? Like they're still shit either way. But now I'm just making a conscious effort to be like, maybe I can make them less shit, right? Maybe I can make them less shit. And don't forget, I'm still trying to ideate on a design while I do this, right? Like I'm still trying to ideate on something that is more than what I have currently made, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to obviously think about angles and shit as well. So there's a lot of thinking going on. And it's extremely fucking difficult because I continue to lose the perspective multiple times, right? Multiple times. And the only thing that's gonna fix that is, wait, he's not gonna say the thing, is he? Yes, you no, really don't talk. Effort? Oh, I just not effort. It's all based on the effort, right? It's just, anyways, yeah, it's all just effort. It's all effort in it. Now I have no idea where this is going, this shape that I've created, but I still have to think about the overall design and like what I want to do with this. Let's see. Maybe this can be something like this, right? Oh wait, see, that's already an incorrect perspective. See, I completely lost the perspective. I'm trying really hard to not lose the perspective, but I completely have lost it multiple times now. And that's okay. Like that. And again, because I'm also trying to focus on the lines. Right? And who knows if this is all even gonna make sense at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop trying. See, because I fucked up that again. That's wrong. It's all wrong, but that doesn't mean... Fuck, I'm just repeating myself. Well, it's hard, goddammit. I'm trying to think. Fuck off. I'm just trying to like. I'm really focusing on ideation right now, and perhaps that's not the right thing to focus on, right? It's very, very possible that because I'm also trying to focus on ideation while also trying to focus on perspective, while also trying to focus on line, and one of those is suffering greatly, and right now it's line. Even though I said I would focus on it, it's not so easily done, right? But that doesn't mean it isn't done. That just means it's not easily done, right? But I am, like, I feel, again, like every time I make the hundreds of mistakes I just made in this entire sequence, every time I make that mistake, I feel good. I've trained myself to be like, good, good, amazing, good, right? Like, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I feel good. And it works. I've gaslighted myself very effectively. Okay, so I guess that's like, that's where the sphere is starting off. And now the next question is, where is it actually starting off? Because I guess I created like some random bullshit. Random bullshit go burr, he did. Random bullshit go burr. That, you know who that reminds me of? That accent? It reminds me of that fucking, the character from Penguin, just Madagascar, you know? Not even Penguins of Madagascar, you know about that fucking old lady? Right? Is she dead? No. Just fucking run her over. Classic. Fucking classic. Right? But, anyways. Let's see. And now this, I'll make my sphere. Because, like, this is clearly my front, and then this is the side. And we have to... I might have not done this correctly. I most definitely actually didn't do this correctly, but I'm gonna rest my brain. And then we're gonna come back and we're going to really try to see the sphere properly. I was so caught up in this. That's a huge mistake, I wanna say. Like, I was so caught up in this and just trying to make this look... And again, like, I was so caught up on the lines, but my lines were still shit, right? But I was so caught up in that, like, the overall perspective was truly, and I mean truly lost to me. Like, I didn't see box sphere, center lines inside it at all. Like, maybe 5% if I'm gonna be generous. So, yeah, let me rest my brain. Again, always transparency into, like, what the process is actually like. Okay, cool. I'm still trying to figure out a design for this, and it's been an hour. Yeah, it's been an hour and 2 minutes. My videos in general are definitely like a little bit over an hour nowadays, but let's see. This is the bottom, and I don't know what I want to do, because definitely gonna keep trying to think about the overall perspective, even while I'm drawing all this shit, right? Like, that's the main thing, is like constantly try to think about the overall perspective, right? Try to... And again, that line was horrendous, which is good, because the more horrendous my lines, the more opportunity for growth I have, right? Just bring this up here so it's a little... See, but like that's also incorrect, that curve. And I need to stop going over this. It's a really bad habit of mine. I keep going over my lines. And yeah, like even with all the shit I say about, hey, make sure you know, have line confidence and this, that, and the other, that doesn't mean I don't struggle with it. That just means I keep trying to remind myself, and hopefully anybody else who's willing to also take it seriously, right? Like, none of what I say, like, everything I say is a prescription to myself as well. But it really isn't even a prescription, it's just a description. No, it is a prescription to myself. I'm just quoting Alex Ramosi because I like that quote. People think I'm giving them a prescription, but it's actually just description, right? I'm like, oh wow, that's very articulate. I'm stealing it, but there's no point in me stealing it because it doesn't even apply to this context. Ooh, what the fuck is going on here? What am I actually doing here? No fucking idea. Oh, I guess that's what's happening. We've connected it now, right? And if that's the case, we might as well just have something in there that really connects it. But the perspective is all over the place. Perspective is actually all over the place, and this is how you know, like, my brain has completely lost everything. And it's just up to me to hopefully, yeah, like hopefully I'm just probably lift this up a little bit, but I'm hopefully just trying to make sense of it all, right? Like that's what the main thing is right now. I'm just trying to make sense of it all. And this is the front. Like this is actually way more of a front perspective than what this is. Clearly it's way more of a front perspective because I completely fucked up the side. But now I have to accommodate for that when I do this, right? When I do this sphere. And now it's even clearer to me that I did make quite a few mistakes, especially with this. We can try to fix it like so. That makes it a little bit better, actually. It genuinely does make it a little bit better. But let's see. Let me just close this off. Right? Just close that off. We don't want to. Dude, that's so off. But that's a mistake. I deal with it. I live with it. It's fine. Right? Yeah, not everything can be great, and that's okay, because not everything should be great. If it is all great, then that just means I'm in my comfort zone, and there's no improvement to be had. But you can see, like, there's a huge perspective error here, right? Like, in general, this is diverging quite a bit compared to, like, this and that. Yeah. I don't think any amount of me going over it is going to change, like, unless I do something like this, but then that's just... And again, that just means my lines need work. Like, I fixed it, but that just means my lines need work. And my perspective knowledge needs work, and everything needs work. But either way, like, I'm struggling a lot to see this box right now. I want to be very clear. But just because I'm struggling doesn't mean I can't continue to try. Right? Let's see. Well, actually, we might as well just close this and then do something like... let's see, something like that, and then over here, same thing. Right, I'm just trying to think of something relatively... Is it unique? No, we'll keep it simple for now, because my mind needs to, and I completely, again, I lost the perspective, so my mind really needs to constantly bring the perspective back, like, okay, so I took a break, like, took a general, just like step back from looking at this, and now we're trying to reconstruct it again, right? And like, trust me, even if it doesn't look like it, I really am trying to think about the lines. It's just, muscle memory can go against you in that way as well, right? When you're used to applying yourself in one manner, to really make a conscious effort, especially when it comes to line work, is very difficult. It's genuinely very difficult. And that's something I have to remind myself of all the time while I'm drawing, is just constantly, and like, again, like while I'm drawing these tinier details, like just, I don't know why I said but yeah, just lost the perspective again. Right? So funny. It's just all went to shit. But I have a feeling that I can savor this or save this, right? Because I should be able to be honest, right? I genuinely should be able to save this. I think I can actually. See, and like these lines are just horrendous. Like genuinely, look at that, so thick. And that's, and before anybody perhaps has a thought that like, oh, they're not that bad. I know, like maybe if you're just looking at them generally, like, oh yeah, they're not that bad, but I have very high standards. So they're very bad because I have high standards, right? And, you know, there are people who with standards that are even 10 times higher than mine who would look at this and be like, dude, his lines are ass. And that's a good thing, because that means I have a lot to learn, right? That's all anything ever means, is just you have a lot to learn. And that's good, because if I didn't have a lot to learn, I would be stagnating. And stagnation is the last thing I want. And again, while I'm doing this, completely lost the perspective, have to take a step back, try to see it again, And it's really hurting because at this point I'm like near the tail end. So this is where I really have to just lean in, just keep trying to see this very subtle perspective, even though, again, here it's diverging again. And that's a mistake, right? Like it's all diverging, and that's a mistake. And while I draw this, I have to reaffirm to myself what perspective I'm actually drawing in. And yeah, like these lines need to be better, right? And it's good. Like I like being given the opportunity while I draw this. I keep having to remind myself, like, hey, keep thinking about the overall sphere, the box, the center lines, which I haven't been able to do at all, by the way. Like I haven't been able to do that at all. See, lines are really bad, but like I'm really trying to. Trust me when I say, but my brain is at its end. Like it's just done. It's funny because I'm going to be streaming after this as well, which I'm going to be trying to really use my brain again a lot. That's also going to be very difficult. And right now, like I'm trying to focus on like while I draw these things, like can I retain as much of that perspective grid that I'm trying to see as possible? And the answer is probably fucking not. Right? Like genuinely probably not. So that's on this side. And let's see, the box. Okay, so this is like coming in here. See, that's a really bad line as well. I'm not trying to rush it, but it probably is feeling that way. Even for me, it feels like I'm rushing it a little bit, which means I just need to chill. Oh, see, that was a mistake. I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't see it properly. So I should have come down here instead. That was a complete mistake. Whatever, we'll just say it's an unorthodox shape that we've created. Yeah, we'll just, if that's the case, if that's what we've decided upon, then we'll just say it's an unorthodox shape. And like while I draw this, I need to keep reaffirming the center lines to myself. And there you go. Little cylindrical cutout. Again, like this angle, I struggle with. That's why I even chose this angle, because I struggle with these lines so fucking much. So much. I love it. I love it. And you can see like I kind of died right now, but that's because my brain is just dead too. And again, like these lines, bro, they're so ass. They're so ass. Now what's happening here? The other side, I obviously need to create some sort of, there you go. Maybe I'll just do that. Right, there you go. But let's see, and then we need to figure out the end of this sphere, because I need to, okay, I need to really visualize this. Also, let me just do this, I guess. Or, yeah, because I've been holding it. So I'll just do something like that. There you go, that's my thumbnail. It's just, right? But let's see, I've really been already fucked up the sphere, but even if I, there you go, I just need to see the end of it. Hopefully. That's still very off, actually. It should have been a lot lower. It should have been around here. Yeah, so good. Made lots of mistakes. Like this one was definitely great. This one, I made it. Do you see how when I made the sphere so much bigger by accident because I wasn't thinking very clearly, that how much more difficult it becomes to retain that, right? Let me also draw the 14th rep right now. Yeah, my lines are just, it's good because like again, it humbles me, right? It really humbles me. And I always look forward to being reminded as to how difficult things are. Like I enjoy that reminder, because that reminder is what reminds me that I have a lot to work on, which is good. Because if I didn't have a lot to work on, that means I'm not learning, right? But either way, okay, so I'm just doodling there. That's completely useless. I mean, my shapes are getting pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I was able to draw this over like a kind of okay sphere, but yeah, there's always more work to be done, to be honest. Even here, right, if I just, oh, look at me, I'm just gonna draw tiny little spheres here, like it doesn't really mean anything, because like it all needs to be in perspective anyways. But yeah, I fucked it up. We'll leave it. It's a fuck up. It's a good fuck up. This is all great. Like, I'm very happy with the effort that I put in, right? Like that genuinely makes me very happy. We can even do something like that. See, so it's still in perspective. But you see how like these lines, like goddamn, bro. See, like that's the line I want, and I think I just need to draw slower next time. You know, like this. And you see it skipping, which is a mistake, right? So yeah, my lines have so much work to be done. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. But I'm gonna be streaming in about half an hour, right? What's the date today? March 15th? Yeah, it's the March 15th stream. It'll be part 54, I'm pretty sure. And it's already, yeah, it's 11:30. So I'll start at 12. I'll probably go till like 1:30, and then yeah, and then I'll just stretch and then sleep. But this isn't bad, to be honest. I think this is pretty. I could even, and here's like me trying to also think about line, because again, like while I'm drawing these lines, I'm really trying to keep my hand back from the pen, right? So these are all mistakes, because I obviously am not skilled enough with a brush pen to apply consistent lines without my hands just skipping. By skipping, I mean like that. What I mean is take my hand off the page and I'm losing the pen placement, right? And you see like it's getting thick at the end because I'm also not that good at pen pressure control, which is something that is very normal when you're using a pen of this level of difficulty. And again, this angle, it's all skill issues. Every angle, every fucking different angle that I draw in, that I fuck up in, it's all skill issues. It's all skill issues. Every single bit of it is a skill issue, right? And then what if I add like these little lines to indicate the corners, right? This can suddenly become multiple rounding, you know? But again, like the lines are so thick that it's hard to showcase it. You know what I mean? But this is obviously incorrect. Like this was centered and I think I did a decent job, but I really made this too wide. I made this too narrow here. I didn't connect this properly enough, and then this top of the sphere was just completely inaccurate. This makes it basically seem a lot more centered, like towards us than it actually is, but this is the more accurate one. And that is like, oh, okay, it's like it's way more on the left side, right? And even here, this should have been something that was just kind of, we saw a little bit of it, but it's all in retrospect, and the fact that I can recognize it is a good thing. Like I recognize some of it, right? The design here is honestly overall pretty shit. Like the big shapes are nice, but this was very confusing, and I could have attached something here. Like this should actually have been something attached here, but you know, it's easy to fucking say when I'm not thinking about 8 different things at once. You know, box, sphere inside the box, center lines inside the sphere inside the box, trying to expand the box to a certain size, thinking about proportion while also drawing over it, while also thinking about the line, while also thinking about the design, which is a bunch of shapes in conjunction with other shapes, and they're being manipulated and interacting with each other in a series of ratios. That's a fuck ton of shit to think about. Half of which I was barely thinking about, or was just trying to think about. The other half, which was just slightly being juggled at any given moment's notice, where I'm like, oh fuck, I haven't been thinking about that at all, right? Therefore, drawing is thinking, as always, right? It's a mental fucking skill, very difficult, but that was great. I put a lot of fucking effort in, and see, this is a session where I didn't want to draw at all. Like I just did not want to draw. I fucking jerked off in my mind about wanting to draw. I literally mentally masturbated over this exact session. Like what I just finished, this is what I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try so hard, it's gonna be great. But there was a block between me thinking about it and me doing it, right? I literally spent an hour watching 21 Jump Street with my sister before I started drawing to be like, oh, I'm gonna let my microphone charge, right? Oh, I'm just gonna, you know, like whatever the fucking bullshit that I told myself. But I'm here now, look at this. This was a great session and I really, really, really fucking tried hard. So, oh god, I'm so sick. Oh, I'm not sick, I just have fucked up throat, mucus, the whole shebang. But yeah, great session. I hope you put a lot of effort in, right? I hope you had a great time listening to my Texan accent, even though I don't know if it's Texan, if it's Arkansanian, if it's Bengali. Like, I'm not too sure, and I heard they're brown, and that already pisses me off. So, with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.